Web Kakaba. You got the power.
You got the power. You got the presence. The one and only. The living essence. The light's inside you. So let it guide you. You got the presence. You got the power.
Sound good. Sing it out.
You got the power. You got the presence. The one and only. The living essence. The light's inside you. So let it guide you. You got the presence. You got the power. You got the power. You got the presence. The one and only. The living essence. The light's inside you. So let it guide you. You got the presence. You got the power. One more time. You got the power. You got the presence. The one and only. The living essence. The light's inside you. So let it guide you. You got the presence. You got the power. You got the presence. You got the power.
You're first.
Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. My name is Carolyn Jansen.
I woke up this morning and I looked down the foot of our bed and this little character was sitting there. And he said he wanted to come to church because he'd never been to Unity before, so there he is. He says Lucky on there. He's Mr. Lucky. And my name is Carl, and I'm glad to have everybody here today on St. Patrick's Day.
We want to greet and bless everyone who's online. Thank you for being with us. You add so much to our service. Thank you. As you saw, Lisa and Zoe are our featured musicians today. And they're joined by Tyler on the keyboards, and Dusty on bass, and Dan on drums. Thank you all for sharing your music with us.
Ron Salazar will deliver our message today. Yes, Ron. A dear friend to many of us. And the title of his message is going to be, Dare to be Great? You already are. Ron is a licensed Unity teacher and has been a truth student for nearly 20 years. His New Thought journey grew out of the 12-step spiritual path, and he became a licensed Unity teacher in 2012. Since then, Ron has taught numerous Unity classes, performed spiritual ceremonies, and shared his joy-filled messages at Unity of Walnut Creek and other Unity ministries. Having completed recently, in 2023, a co-active life coach training session. Great, Carol loves coaching. Ron is now engaged in a life coach certification program, leading to yet another way of serving others from a space of deep spiritual awareness. His focus is to hold each client as naturally creative, resourceful, wholehearted in mind, body, and spirit. So thanks, Ron, for being with us today. I got to hear his talk once already.
Before we begin, I invite you to silence your cell phones so that we can enjoy this sacred time together.
Now let's take a moment to be grateful for the land our center rests upon. This is Bay Miwok and Ohlone land.
We honor the Bay Miwok and Ohlone people of today, and we are grateful for those who have stewarded this land before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred grounds and Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living, and our vision for the world is, and let's say this together, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
Our mission is who we come here to be. Again, together, we are a loving, inclusive community. Love, connection, service, and wisdom.
We have to keep up with you guys. You know this too well.
That's right.
If you are with us for the first time, welcome. If you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so we can give you a welcome packet. It's nice to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. And we invite you to go across the patio after the service to our cafe bookstore, and there's another welcome gift for you. And we have really good coffee, and we'd love to talk to you. Thanks for being here.
And there are connection cards that are available in your newcomer packet, as well as in the back seats of the pockets of the seats in front of you.
There we go.
And these are for everyone, and with them you can submit a prayer request, and a prayer team member will pray with you.
You may also share feedback or request information, so please place your cards along with the offering later in the service. Oh, and for those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page of our website. We have several activities to highlight this week.
Yes. Have you ever been a volunteer here at Unity of Walnut Creek? Yes, almost everybody.
I think a few have.
And if you aren't, we welcome you to become a volunteer. But please join us today at 1 o'clock in the community room. We're going to get to know each other a wee bit better and share some Irish soda bread, and we're going to learn about some upcoming volunteer opportunities. And all are welcome, so if you're just a wee bit curious, please join us for some St. Patrick's Day fun.
I'll let Carolyn have the lines with the wee bit in it, because she's got a little Irish in her. I don't. Do you have a deep desire to feel at one with the earth? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Unity has a new class that will help you learn to become rooted in Mother Nature and transform your sense of belonging within the natural world. Join Kat Hill and me, starting this Tuesday, right here in the sanctuary at 7 o'clock. We're going to work with this book, which is called Rooted, Life at the Crossroads of Science, Nature, and Spirit. It's a book that, I don't know how Kat ran into it, but she did, and she called me up within a day or two and said, Carl, I'm reading a book that I know you too well, you've got to read this book, and we both loved it. And we got in our mind we need to do a class, and she wanted to wait till spring, which I think was great because it really gives you that alive feeling. Plus, we might do some barefoot walking on the property. So again, the first meeting is March 19th. Someone was asking, if I can't make the first meeting, but I can the others, can I come? Yes, come to the ones you can come to. It's not a book where, like you're reading a novel and you go, what the heck happened earlier? Now I don't know where I am. It's got really neat little chapters in it.
You're invited to join Unity's Tuesday afternoon book club. Starting on March 26th at 2 p.m., they will embark on their next literary journey. And the book that they're going to be reading is The Place That Scares You, a guide to fearlessness in difficult times. Come to be part of this lively group that gathers to discuss the current book and to grow spiritually, to uplift one another, and apply the insights in our life.
And both the books are available in the bookstore, so that's good to know. Mark your calendar to join Reverend Johanna Van Gelder and Carrie Hillary on Friday, March 29th for a profound experience of communion with Spirit and one another at our Good Friday service at 7 o'clock. We will be exploring through readings, music, and silence how we can support ourselves during challenging times.
And then join Reverend T.J. Woodward on Easter Sunday as he explores the Easter story through the mystical lens and how this story is your story. Embracing the deeper meaning of the Easter story will allow you to move beyond any ideas of lack and limitation and emerge as a brilliant light that you are.
And now I'd like to invite Carol Richardson to the platform for a special announcement. Please have the, little note here. Okay, you're up. There was an annotated note in there that was throwing me off.
You guys are such a great team. I love you. Good morning, Unity. Good morning. Who wants to be blessed? Yes. Would you like to experience the peace that passes understanding with a group of spiritual friends?
Yes.
Would you like to find it easier to access and maintain peace within yourself? Would you like to learn how to bring more peace into your relationships? Would you like to help manifest more peace into the world? Then please come to the Peace Circle Gathering, Sunday, April 7th, from 1:30 to 3:30, right here in the Unity Sanctuary. I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Carol. For more information and registration for all of our events, please check our website, and you're welcome to visit the table out on the patio. It has flyers for all the upcoming events for us.
Did you know that Unity offers a wide variety of weekly and monthly classes and groups? There's something happening almost every day, with groups meeting at various times to accommodate different schedules. Discover more about these events and how they can help your spiritual journey to facilitate healing and connect you with like-minded individuals. I didn't bring a copy up, but there's a small brochure on the right-hand side, along with the cast of characters and of the upcoming speakers that you can grab off the table out there. So to be sure to pick up a copy.
As we prepare for our time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God.
I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here
into our meditation time. Let go of all of the outside world and just be present here with your brothers and sisters. And feel the chair underneath your body. And feel your feet on the floor. And know that underneath the floor is Mother Earth, in which you are always connected. Now visualize flowing from your heart a warm light, the light of peace and love, flowing throughout your body. And just feel the warmth and the peace and the love that is you. And now release that light out into the sanctuary, filling the sanctuary with your essence. And visualize it moving out into the community around our sanctuary and moving beyond that and flowing all around the globe, north and south and east and west, until it adds to our atmosphere a layer of love and peace, the essence of you. And know that it touches every brother and sister on our planet. And as we move into the silence, take these words with you. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. And as you hear the sound of my voice, let it bring you back into our sanctuary. And know that you can always go back to the place of peace anytime you want. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please say that with me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world.
God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed.
Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed.
Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need.
I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed.
It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, and the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter,
Far beneath the bitter snow
lies the seed that with the sun's love spring becomes the rose.
Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Irish Valentine's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I have some advice for you, okay? Don't ever, if you're going to give a talk in church, ask your best friends to sing your favorite song. Their best friends and their daughter. Because it makes it tough to begin. So, happy St. Patrick's Day. So today's talk is titled Dare to Be Great. You already are. And how this came to me, about 3 weeks ago, I was looking through our speaker series guide. And I found me, because I always look for me first. and the person the week before, last Sunday, was Reverend Kevin Bass. And this sentence got to me. It said, he's shared the speaking stage with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, President Nelson Mandela. And my first thought was, holy smoke. Actually, that wasn't my first thought. But it was like, how am I going to follow that? How am I going to be on stage the same stage with someone who had been on the stage with the Dalai Lama? Right? I mean, I want to be a spiritual leader. How the heck am I going to follow that? And then President Mandela, who has throughout history, one of the most powerful civic rights leaders and spiritual leaders. How am I going to follow that? I mean, who am I? Right? I mean, like, I had to pay hundreds of dollars to stand next to these two dudes. And if you don't know who they are, that's Joe Montana, Ronnie Lotz, and 49er Greats. Right? Someone I don't recognize, I'll tell you that much. Right? But, so I had to calm down and realize that I am me and that nobody can express God the way I can express God. Right? Now, if you know anything about the Unity path, we believe that God or the divine being or oneness is within us, right? And if God is everywhere, at every moment, then He's in every molecule 100%. And if He's in every molecule on the planet 100%, then He's within us, or she's within us 100%, right? And so, since nobody can express God like me, right? I mean, Bette Midler can't express God the way Zoe or Lisa can, right? Elton John can't express God like Tyler can, right? We're all unique. And it is our spiritual responsibility to be who we are on this planet, right? I mean, we all have the goodness within us to do that. And if we don't do that, we could lead a dial tone life. I don't hear many laughter because we must have a lot of young folk here, right? So dial tone is when the phone was in our house and you pick it up and you would hear, and just this constant static, right? That's what our lives could be if we don't express who we are, if we stuff that, right? And so one of the major blocks from us being ourselves is what I think is one of the most powerful part of ourselves. And that's our self-critic, right? Some people call it the saboteur or the committee if you're of 12-step ilk, right? So call out some names to me, what you have named as inner critic. Gremlin? Demon? The judge? Yeah, right? Nice. Anybody else? There you go. I like that one. Mine's Worf. And if you don't know who Worf is, do you know Star Trek? The USS Enterprise? Well, Worf is the security officer and he's a Klingon. And they're a race of warriors, right? And so here's the security chief who it's his job to keep the ship safe. So every time they meet a new alien or new species, the first thing he wants to do is blow them up. Right? Because that's his job. He was raised to be a warrior. He doesn't know anything different. But on that bridge, there's a lot of other folk who have jobs. There's the captain, there's the first officer, there's the pilot, there's a navigator, there's a communications officer. There's a lot of other folks, right? And so if we look at us that way, right? So how many have a really powerful inner critic? Like when that inner critic comes up, there's nothing else in the world. It's just this inner critic, right? And some give their inner critic less power than others, right? So Charles Fillmore brought forth, through his consciousness, the 12 powers. And these 12 powers, these are, and today they may be called the 12 spiritual attributes, right? So all these here, listed here, are what we go through life with the spiritual powers that we can use all the time to express God. And so I'm going to dare to be great here, and I'm going to edit the 12 powers into the 13 powers. Okay? And I say add that inner critic. Add that Worf to that list. Because the inner critic, or Worf, is just as important and just as powerful as these 12 powers. Now, you really need to hear this, because your inner critic is not any more powerful than any of these on the list. Right? We may forget these positive spiritual attributes when that critic is up, right? Because we tend to believe it, right? We tend to believe when he says those things like, you're not good enough, or I told you so. God, my parents. Sorry. When I used to get hurt, right, sometimes they would say, well, told you so. Or this one I just got over a couple years ago. Just got over, yeah, it took a while. And it is, you get what you deserve. Right? I mean, for me, that had a negative connotation for 64 years of my life. And I'm only 53. But that's how much power I gave it, right? And so I'm really beginning to see that inner critic is a positive thing in my life, right? So one of my favorite memories is when I was in high school back in the last century, and we had this English teacher who I can't remember anything about learning English from him, but learning about life, right? And one of my classmates asked him, why do we have nerves? Because they hurt. And he said, well, if you put your hand on a hot stove and if you didn't have nerves, 5 minutes later you wouldn't have a hand left, right? Because it'd be burned off. And that just stuck with me my whole life, right? That's the same thing as the inner critic. The inner critic, it's not nice, right? It doesn't build you up. It doesn't say, Ron, you're going to give a wonderful talk today, and the Dalai Lama is just going to be impressed. That's not what he says. You know, my inner critic says, boy, those people at 9:30 really liked your talk, but you're going to flunk out at the 11:30. It's still here. It's still here. Jiminy Christmas. But I also know, I know more now that I have more than just the inner critic, that the inner critic is just part of the committee, right? And the committee includes imagination. It includes strength. It includes power. It includes love. It includes imagination. It includes faith. I mean, that's a lot of power, right? I think they can handle the inner critic. And so one of the things I wanted to do today is demonstrate Dare to be Great, because I'm talking about it. Well, I'm doing Dare to be Great right now, right? Because I've been doing these talks for about 10 years. And when I first started giving talks, I wanted to have at least 3 or 4 quotes or sayings from books, so to confirm that what I was saying was true, right? And then in the past few years, it's been a little less books. It's not about confirming what I was saying is true as much as enhancing what I was saying was true, right? So today is the first day that I'm flying solo, all right? I'm not using any quotes because I know what I'm saying is true for me, right? Yo, bro. And so to stand here in front of you and know that what I'm saying is the truth, and not having to go to Charles Fillmore or Myrtle or the Dalai Lama or whomever, right? I know that I'm expressing God right now, right? And that I've overcome the inner critic that I had sitting there at 10:29 saying, you're going to flunk this, right? And we all have that capacity within us. You know, I'm not up here to be anybody else but me. I got to get over this, right? I got to get over that more people like the Dalai Lama and Nelson Mandela know more than me, because they don't, right? And it's like I said earlier, if God is 100% within you, then the Dalai Lama or Nelson Mandela or any other great person doesn't have any more wisdom and imagination and courage and strength and power than you do. Amen? Yo, bro? Yo, bro? Yeah. So I really think, and I really want to say to you that your inner critic is a loving, caring part of you. Really weird to hear, isn't it? That this part of you that tells you you can't do it. You're not good enough. No way, Jose, right? Is a loving, caring person. But they are. It's because that's part of us. We would burn off our hands if we didn't have that inner critic, right? It's like, so love is one of our attributes, right? how many people have used love without using wisdom and got a good powerful lesson, right? Because you need wisdom with love, right? Or vice versa, right? Let's go back to the Star Trek theme, right? There was this episode of Star Trek where they have this transporter on the Enterprise where you can beam down to a planet and they beam up, right? So Captain Kirk goes down to the planet, comes back up, but he's split in two. And they don't know this on the ship. So he's split in two, and all his wisdom and love and caring gets the first part. And the second part, with all his animal instincts, is now roaming around the ship, right? And he's causing havoc, right? And Captain Kirk, the loving, the caring, the wisdom part, is facing this dangerous alien ship, and he can't make any decisions what to do until they get both of him back together, put him back in the transporter and bring him back up, and he's a whole person. And now he can deal with what he has to deal with. You know, that's like us, right? And I think if we separate our inner critic, our security chief, our chief of staff, right? The person who's supposed to keep us safe. If we separate that out from all the other spiritual attributes, we're missing something, right? We're missing wisdom and strength and power, right? But if we bring them together, then we're whole. And that's where we can express ourselves. You know, it's our spiritual responsibility. And if you didn't believe that, I don't think you would be sitting here, right? But it's our spiritual responsibility to be who we are. And so we can share that with our brothers and sisters. Can you take that in? Yeah? You hear that? That you're supposed to be who you are to change the world or to bring peace into the world. We all have that ability. And it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be, I got to confess this. I've never said this out in public. I'm not a reader, okay? I've tried to read books, especially in Unity. They want you to read lots of books, okay? I've got hundreds of dollars worth of books that I've read about half of them. And I'm not. I just not. So I have to let myself be a non-reader, right? And so maybe sometime this week you can something might come up that you need to let go and that everybody else loves. But you need to let it go because it doesn't serve expressing the God within you. Right? When I got sober 32 years ago, speaking of Nelson Mandela in prisons, right? So he was in prison for 27 years. And I think of that. I mean, who am I? I mean, just like I haven't been through anything like that. Well, the fact is, I was in prison for 32 years. Right? When I got sober a long time ago, I started to realize that for the first portion of my life, I was a prisoner in my own heart. Right? I was a prisoner because I can picture me standing at the cell door with my hands on there, watching life go by, watching people go by, watching love go by. And as I started to walk this path without alcohol, I felt a presence, and I turned around and Jesus is sitting there. And I said, well, when did you get here? He said, I was here the whole time. You just didn't know it. Now, just a sidebar. In Unity, we look at Jesus differently. Okay? We look at Jesus as the example, not the exception. Okay? As one of our former assistant ministers called Jesus, our older brother. Right? And so we look to him as a guide, but not as anything above that. And that's how I look at him. And the reason why Jesus is sitting in that cell is because I grew up Catholic. And so Jesus has been with me since day one. You know, Jesus used to be a stone wall between me and God. And now he's walking beside me, moving towards God. Right? And so I told Jesus, I said, Jesus, I want to get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. He goes, well, open the door. I go, I can't open the door. I'm in prison. It's locked. He goes, no, it's not. It's never been locked. And I pushed the door open. Right? And that's when I started to express who I was. When I started to be part of life, when I started to be walk side by side with my brothers and sisters. Right? And so going back, okay, so I got another half an hour or so I got more stuff to say. But just the last thing I wanted to say is that, taking us back to the song, The Rose, right? So the last verse, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the seed that with your love every day becomes the rose. Right? So the seed of the rose is about yay big, right? And so when we remember with our love every day, we can blossom that seed into the rose. Well, if you look at the seed of an oak tree, an acorn, it's about this big, right? Yes, so. And that acorn turns into a mighty oak tree. Right? Well, that oak tree can never be a rose. And that rose can never be an oak tree. But both bring love, peace, warmth, goodness into our planet, just as powerfully as the other one. Right? So that's what I want you to leave with today. Whether you're a rose, whether you're an oak tree, whether you're seaweed, right? Right? It doesn't matter. If that's who you are, you have a purpose. You have a purpose. And when your purpose joins our purpose, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So we have an affirmation for you. And the affirmation is, I express greatness. So please do yourselves a wonderful and beautiful favor and express greatness. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ron, it's great to have our guest speakers who we don't know real well, and it's so joyous to have our guest speaker who's an internal one of us. Thank you for reminding us who we are. I really appreciate that.
So our prayer chaplains are available after the service to provide personal prayer support. And if you're a prayer chaplain serving today, please rise.
Right.
Thank you. And they have the lavender stoles.
Whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Now let us open our heart to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to give financially to this community, shown on the screen in front of you. For those of you watching online, there's a donate button on the Watch Live page. We encourage everyone to avoid bank fees that the apps charge by setting up automatic giving to Unity through your bank's bill pay system.
And I invite you to take your tithe or your offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Be filled and grateful.
Are you ready for the spring? Are you ready for the clover? Are you ready for the sun warming up the sky? The long night is over. Are you ready for the spring? Are you ready for the clover? Are you ready for the sun warming up the sky? The long night is over.
Official first day of spring is Tuesday, the 19th.
So as we bless this offering, we bless the giver. We bless the gift, that it may go forth and multiply and increase the good in our lives and in the lives of those we touch. Together, we give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. Thank you.
So the kids are not coming, but we
Whoa,
can.
whoa, you're
that's
you're
right.
jumping
You
ahead
got
of me.
another thing?
You're jumping
Sorry,
ahead of me.
I'm jumping ahead.
Can I relax now? As you all are aware, our dear Reverend Kristen is on a 12-week or 11-week sabbatical, and I hope she's doing really well. We're about halfway through right now. You're the 5th of 10 speakers, and then there's going to be a special 11th Sunday when Kristen will be back sitting in the audience, and three people from our congregation are going to talk about what we learned. I see Don Shaw sitting right there. But next week, I want to announce that our speaker is going to be Christopher Brown. Christopher and his wife Susan, I don't know if you know them. Christopher's about my height, so that's a distinguishing characteristic. They come almost all the time, but they're usually at the 9:30 service, and they were here today. Let me just continue on. So have you ever wondered what Palm Sunday was all about and why it's considered significant? Could there possibly be a deeper metaphysical meaning that has gone totally unnoticed? We know that Jesus taught a very radical message of love, inclusion, and acceptance, which was so threatening to the power structure that he had to be silenced. So why was his message so threatening, and is it still threatening today? Please join us next Sunday as Christopher will attempt to answer these questions. Good luck, Christopher. I'm not giving that talk. And so much more about the true meaning of Palm Sunday and its amazing significance for all of us. A little about Christopher.
Oh, wow.
If you're not here, you're missing. You got issues.
We are so blessed.
Christopher knows that we are all independent researchers trying to figure out the mysteries of life. His research has taught him to reject any wisdom that does not know how to cry, any philosophy that does not know laughter, and any greatness which is not humbled by the joy of children. Boy, I should have read this before. This is touching. So the best we can do is to hold each other's hand as we walk through the mystery of life together. Man, I'll see you guys next Sunday. Who's not going to be here?
I'm waiting for our children to arrive. I think there's one child.
The kids are coming.
All right. Oh, I see them.
Shall we start? Why don't we start a song, but keep it going?
They're coming in green.
We are the circle of love. We are the circle of love. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of love. The light in you and the light in me are one. One more time. We are a circle of love. We are a circle of light. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of light. The light in you and the light in me are one. The light in you and the light in me are one.
Let us bless our children together and teachers.
Yes, they are.
They share first before they get their blessing.
That's what that little thing is not very clear.
Okay, we can do
I'd like
that.
to share today
Thank you, Michelle.
what we did. We talked about lucky stuff, like lucky numbers, like the number 4 for 4-leaf clover. Never give up.
And then Johnny's in our Unitine group. You want to share what Unitine's talked about?
About God.
About God, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about how, you get these little lucky things, like you might see a clover or a ladybug. And for me and for the kids, we said those are little messages from God, little blessings that just remind us how blessed we are, right? So we hope you guys have a lucky day. And we also have our Regis today. Do you guys want to share?
So this weekend we've been planning with Mike our upcoming spring rally that's occurring in May. So if you know any people aged, what are the ages? 10 to 18, then we would love for them to join us at our rally, which is going to be centered around learning about our authentic selves and sharing about ourselves with others. And today, in our Unity group, to elaborate on what was said, we've also been learning about us creating our own realities, which is probably one of the most important things about Unity. Your mind creates your reality, so yes.
Nice. Beautiful.
I think after Christopher talks, a week after that, she's going to give him the talk. I see her. Well done.
I'm
Thank you.
so excited our youth program is growing. It's just wonderful to see you all every day, every week. So now, let's bless our children and our teachers. Children and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you.
We're going to close with Wherever I Am. Please rise in body or in spirit. If you'd like to hold hands, let your neighbor know. You can also take this in through your heart.
Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. And all is well.
You are the light, the love, and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine. Have fun and spread joy.